Hello, everyone, and welcome to Horrific Games. I'm joined tonight by my good buddy and supporting superstar, Chris. You've seen this guy. He's been he's almost in the channel as much as I am. Always good to have you on board, mate, honestly.
Appreciate it. Love the channel, man. This is fun. Looking forward to this.
And so am I, mate. We had to do a wee bit of jiggery and pokery. Just life got in between some of these sessions we were trying to plan. So at least tonight we've got a bit longer. So the plan is we'll go through the session 0. We'll talk a wee bit about the game. We'll start creating the character, and then we'll dive into the beginning of the adventure. So it'll take a wee second of switching gears and screens and stuff, but we will get there. So Chris, it's safe to say, right? We obviously met up on Adam's Dragonlance channel, playing adventure. What was that? That was 4 parts, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a 4-part. In the Saga was the name of it. Yeah, that was so much fun.
And each one's like 3-4 hours at a go. So we've spent quite a bit of time together online, which is the beauty of this sort of a hobby.
I love your character yelled at mine half the time, but I loved it. But in the end, they became buddies. It's like a buddy comedy.
Yeah, but that's that was it. And I think what people need to understand with role playing is, if you come in with the right attitude of we're here to have a good time, and as opposed to, I liken it to Snakes and Ladders, where you have to win, or Monopoly, where people end up punching each other and tipping tables over.
Yeah.
Role playing has a different focus, and if you embrace the madness of it, that's where you just have the giggles. And it's when things go wrong, actually, I think that's where you get the most storytelling and comedy.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're primarily a Dungeons and Dragons player, yeah?
Yeah, and even that I really don't get to play that much. I played more as a kid with my older brother and a good friend of mine. And then over the years, I tried to get back into it a little bit. But definitely with, within the last year or so, Adam, as we know, he has a Dragonlance channel that I really got into. And then playing with you guys was so much fun because I never get to play anymore. I run a campaign for my wife and reluctantly for my wife and my 9-year-old who loves it. But like to actually be a player and to just sit and have someone else do all the work, it's just awesome for me. I don't get to do that.
Every time Adam invites me on one of his channels, and I'm just like, oh, I get to just turn up and be an idiot. Right? Great.
It's the best.
We're here, I'm sitting flipping, reading up and all right up until you appeared. I'm like, oh, I hope I get this right and don't mess up. And you've both DM'd and played, so
yeah,
it's interesting both sides of the coin.
It's fun for both. Yeah, definitely. Like you get some enjoyment as a DM when your players are having a good time and when you create, but it is a lot more effort. So I appreciate you doing this today.
I'm glad to get more practice because I've had like at least a 20-year break. I started off, I'm a 40k player of old. So when you're tabletop, it's like roll dice, shoot things, smash things with axes, chain swords. And when I had the games club, the transition between being a tabletop player and an RPG, a tabletop wargamer, and playing RPGs is a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
And I started off with Vampire the Masquerade. And
I never played that.
That is, people take that game so seriously.
Is that where they like dress up like in goth and like it's really?
Yeah, well, there's a tabletop game like this. You sit around, you create your character sheet, but then there's the LARPing side of it too, which is just that's another level. I'm one of these people. I just have to have a go. I love weird hobbies and stuff, and it's 9 times out of 10 it's the people that make me go, oh god, right? Maybe not. That's too far even for me. And I'm a big fat nerd. I embrace being a big fat nerd.
I'm right with you.
So yeah, that was primarily the White Wolf game, and I preferred Werewolf the Apocalypse because that was more of a team sport game.
Okay.
D&D had done a bit of obviously advanced D&D and Forgotten Realms back in the day, but it wasn't really a mainstay. One thing I've noticed though, D&D players, you seem not to want to branch into other role-playing games. Is it a culture thing, or just this is my comfort zone, I'm happy here? Obviously not speaking for yourself, because you're the sort of person that just has a go and like kind of has my mentality about things, but playing with D&D players, what is the reluctance
They're
to try other systems?
Yeah, there definitely seems to be a lot of brand loyalty to Dungeons and Dragons. I think because it was the one that is, in all like popular culture. There was a TV show in the States, Big Bang Theory, that kind of like brought it back to the forefront.
I could not get into that show. I know how what's his face out of the wee guy he played the boyfriend in Roseanne. Remember the Roseanne series back in the day? And I recognized that actor from it. But I just couldn't get into it for some reason.
Yeah, but it seems to be like the most widely known, and I think people who grew up with it are just, for the most part, there's been some push with Pathfinder, I heard, and some other ones, but for the most part, I think it's just brand loyalty and just what people know and what they grew up with.
But my question is, are you being disloyal to a brand by trying another game? It doesn't automatically mean I'm going to ditch first game that I've gathered. It's like I talk about my tabletop wargaming days. Me playing like World War II tabletop wargame doesn't mean I'm going to throw away all my 40k stuff and just burn all my books and then instantly transfer over. It's about having a new experience and trying something different, because sometimes going something from a different angle gives you an appreciation. And that's what I kind of want to talk to as well, as part of the session 0 here.
Sure.
Trying a game with maybe a different focus and a different like rule system and mechanics, does that not help to make you appreciate what you love about your primary sort of game?
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's funny that people are so loyal to Dungeons and Dragons when it itself has changed so much over the years. If you look at like first edition versus 5e, which is the latest, it's completely different. So it is funny that they're so
late edition. There's modern politics in it, and the whole point was to escape today's world.
Yes, I'm with you. Oh, a different universe, a different time, a different everything. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Definitely, it's a little weird.
It's almost like another version of nerd bashing,
Yeah,
like the jocks, the Chads and Stacys, the sort of jocks and the cheerleaders that used to shove our heads down the toilets, or tried in my case, but until I started saying no, not having any of that. But it seems to be they've just been replaced by these other people that they always hate us, and I don't get it. We welcome anyone. If you're as mad as us, welcome on board. That's always been, and like I said, I've been LARPing, tabletop wargaming, RPGs, other random hobbies as well, and it's always a case of small niche community. And the minute somebody new comes in, it's not a case of who's that, it's eyes light up. Oh, here's another crazy person that wants to do this mad stuff with us. Come on. I've never known it to be any different. Have you had that experience?
Yeah, I've never got into LARP. I was always afraid. Are you familiar with the Simpsons?
Yeah.
I was always afraid I would look like the comic book owner if I tried to dress up. So I was like, maybe LARP is not for me. But you're right. It's usually a very inclusive group. I don't know why people from the outside keep trying to bash it. Yeah.
Yeah, and even this game that we're about to start with, Call of Cthulhu, the number of footnotes. This is 7th edition, obviously the latest one that's out, and the amount of
Oh, wow.
trigger warnings at the start. And if you feel uncomfortable and blah blah blah, you're like, who is this aimed for? And if you have that sort of, because the worst thing about RPGs, you get attention seekers, like any sort of niche. You always get people that come in and make it all about them. That guy,
Yeah.
We all know who that guy is.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to play with that guy.
Yeah.
And it's almost
Yeah.
like this has been geared towards a table full of that guy players, and like it's going to just be chaos.
Yeah. Well, don't worry about that with me. I'm 45 and fat. The only thing uncomfortable is my physical body. Everything else I'm comfortable with.
Look, yes. Do you know what? I always say I was built for comfort, not speed.
That's right. That's right.
So, have you worked with this system before, Call of Cthulhu, or
no? My only introduction to it was actually on your channel. You ran the session with Adam and Derek,
mm-hmm.
A 3-part session. I had a lot of fun watching that. That was my first introduction
the one
to
shot.
it. Yeah, the one.
yeah, that worked.
But that was great. I thought that went really well, and I love the ending. I thought too often, like the game master tries to like help the players, so that they have a happy ending. And I thought the ending in that was just awesome.
Oh,
so
no,
I loved it.
Not with this game. The keeper can do as much as it can, but this game is designed. It's not designed for long campaigns. Because the problem is, the longer a character is in this mythos and encounters things, the more aware they become, and then that's where the insanity creeps in. The whole point of this is not the win. That's weird.
I love it. I'm down for it.
Yeah, I suppose I should explain before we begin. So the sort of premise behind this game is you're an investigator. You're trying to solve a mystery. You're a human character, and you'll never be anything more than human. So, for example, like in D&D, you have the tank character. You can build up their stats and make them superhuman strong. That doesn't work here. You'll only be human strength. That means you have human fallibilities. You're not going to become bulletproof or knife-proof or anything. So combat, while it's in the game and it's very interesting, is not something you're seeking to do. Like, you don't walk in the street and you're not going to see a 6-foot werewolf pattern down the street, and you're not going to think as a human, I'm going to take that thing on.
Right.
That's the way it's set, and that's, I think, where a lot of people make a mistake with this game.
Yeah, that's why I'm going with like a 50-year-old professor as my character, Stan Biblio, and he's definitely not physical in any way. He deplores the use of gun violence because he feels that his high intellect can outtalk any situation. So he's going to do terrible when it comes to any fighting, which is going to be hilarious.
So much fun. Right, so let's see how we do this. So can you see your character sheet on your screen?
Let me see. Maybe I have to zoom out.
It's okay, because I think this will show up. This is where you have to do a bit of jiggery and pokery with the different systems. Well, just let me, because I think I got myself. Yeah, I did, right. So what we can do is I'll go through each of the stats. You roll the dice, and if needs be, I can. If they're not going to show up here.
Yeah, I don't see. So far, I just see the cover page. Yeah, I see the underneath part, but not.
Right, so you need to call up your own character sheet.
Oh, sorry. Yep, I see.
Yeah, just I've given
I see it. Okay.
DM's controller sort of thing.
I see it.
Just so the audience can see it, because I can't show your sheet if that makes sense. I can
absolutely
call up in the DM screen, and then
I see it now. Got it.
People get upset if you refer to the GM as a DM or the keeper using a different system.
I haven't heard that, but again, I'm not in the game world as much as I'd like to be. But I haven't heard, I think it's fine.
You know, I mean, for this, you're known as the Keeper of Lore, Keeper for short. where that would be the DM, the Dungeon Master in Dungeons and Dragons, or the GM, the Games Master, or when we play at Army of Darkness, the Director. It all means the same thing.
Right. For sure.
But so
mhm.
we'll have your character's name. So you're having him as a professor, is that correct?
Yeah, professor. I was just going to ask you, I was going to do like professor of archaeology, but if it ties into the story better that he has some other expertise, I could change it.
That could work actually. Two aspects of this. Oops. The spill, Colin.
I thought it looked good the first time.
You either somebody that's into artifacts or marine biology. That's the two sort of useful focuses on the game.
Okay.
But where the game gets, everyone has like a basic amount of skills. This works on percentages. So it's percentile success.
Lower is better.
Higher is better.
Oh, I thought if you had like if you rolled under your number, it's a success. So if you have like a 70 and something, you have to get under 70.
No, you roll over it.
Oh,
or
okay.
Sorry. No, yeah, roll under it. So if you have a 10, like you start off, I'll scroll down here.
Right.
If you have like a 15 or a 10, you have to
try
and roll under.
Right. That I remember from the other session.
So psychoanalysis, for example, unless you're a psychiatrist, you can use your skill to try and like get into the mind of somebody, but your chances are slim. But there's always that 1 in a million shot.
So you're saying there's a chance.
That's it, and that's a little carrot with angle. So starting off then, stats are pretty much the same: strength, constitution, dexterity, and then as we go through actions, that's where you can add they become modifiers.
Okay.
So to begin with, where's me? Sorry, I put the tab in the page before. Oh, I'm at the wrong section. So they'll give you two. They'll give you lovely ribbons, right? But they'll give you two of them to confuse you. There we go. That was where I was wanting to be. Look at me being professional as always. Right. So strength. Roll 3d6 and multiply by 5.
Okay, so it says roll options: regular, hard, extreme.
Okay, so we're rolling the basics.
Okay.
That's dividing by 5. So you've got your half. So this is when it comes to pushing rolls. So there's a bit of a uniqueness in this game. If you fail a roll, you can then opt to push the roll.
Okay.
And it'll either succeed or have catastrophic results. But there's also some encounters, like if you're trying to persuade someone, it might require a hard success. If you're dealing with someone particularly like stubborn-minded. So to persuade them, it might require a hard success. If you're maybe trying to flirt or charm somebody and you have, for example, low appearance, then it's going to require a hard success.
Gotcha.
But if you've got a high appearance, then it's just going to be a normal success. So it's all it's all geared towards storytelling devices.
Okay.
And once, like you said, there's always a chance. Anything's possible. That's the beauty of this, where nothing is precluded, where some other systems is if you don't have it, you don't do it.
Gotcha.
But this is based on a human character. I can go and try to pretend to be a mechanic and pick up a spanner and have a crack at putting an engine together. I would be rolling under a 5 or something for that in real life. And there'd be bits all over the floor, but you can still have a go. And there's that 5% chance that you succeed. And that's why this game's designed. So that's where the ones come in. So do you want to roll me 3d6 times 5?
So I click on the roll options regular?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just keeping that screen hidden so people don't see all the back notes and stuff, because the keeper's screen is secret. Don't want to spoil the game. Secret squirrels.
All right. Where's the actual dice roll?
Hang on. Do another screen. I think it's in the chat.
Oh, it's in the chat.
Yep. And then you
Oh.
/ roll.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. And you said
3d6 times 5.
3.
That's pretty much it. And then what we'll do is we'll go through your character. We'll do the modifiers.
Okay, so 14. And then times 5. I could know that. I'm a grown up, right?
70. I think.
70. I was just gonna say 70. I wasn't gonna say 70.
Colin. Yeah, sorry. I've got. I need to get a larger table. Let's start off. This was perfectly fine for my original computer. Then, as if I've expanded out, I've got less table space, and then a huge bloody book, and I'm trying to.
Yeah, that book is ginormous.
It's a beast. I did the unboxing for it, and like I said, it's great. Oh, I've bought
looks
this,
cool.
I've got it. But see, trying to carry it around or just read it casually, it's flipping unwieldy. And I don't like reading stuff on my phone. I'm weird like that.
Yeah.
I need to get myself a tablet. Actually, I've got one of them Kindle things, and it's absolutely rubbish.
Gotcha.
Because I prefer a larger screen when I'm actually trying to read something.
Sure. 70 is a little stronger than I would have liked, but maybe he's like a Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but don't forget, we're going to add when we go through here, we'll take your age into effect, and then it modifies slightly.
Oh, cool.
So this is the base stats,
Gotcha.
And then we can play around as we go through this. So the next thing is Constitution. Same again, 3d6 times 5.
3d6.
So actually, I suppose I should read these out and let people understand what we're doing here. So obviously, strength measures the muscle power of the investigator. The higher it is, the more the investigator can lift or tightly cling to something. This characteristic determines the damage an investigator inflicts in hand-to-hand combat. Reduced to strength 0, an investigator is an invalid, unable to get out of bed. And now we're doing your Constitution, which represents health, vigor, and vitality. Poisons and diseases may directly challenge an investigator's Constitution. Investigators with a high Constitution often have more hit points. The better to resist injury or attack. Serious physical injury or magical attack might lower the statistic. And if Constitution reaches 0, the investigator dies.
Dun, dun, dun. So I got a 9 times 5 is 45.
45. Flip your... So basically, you lift heavy things all day, but you eat out of McDonald's. And you don't take your vitamins.
They just discovered those in the 1920s. A friend of mine sent me some stuff on the 20s to help me out. A good buddy of mine, Mike. So I was reading up on it, and they just discovered vitamins in the 20s.
Evening, Adam. Are you taking Chris's place for being my commenter tonight? Good to have you on, man.
We take turns.
Yeah, there has to be balance in the universe. Everyone needs a Chris on their channel, and if Chris isn't here, there's a huge gaping gap.
Hey, Adam. That's not how technology works. He can't wave back.
Yeah, it all works. Here, let's go for it. Right. So the next thing is size.
Okay.
And what you're going to do there is you're going to roll 2d6 plus 6.
Okay.
And then multiply by 5. Flip's sake, this is getting complicated. So 2d6 plus 6 multiplied by 5.
Okay, so I got 5 plus 6, 11 times 5 is 55.
55. Right, and then size averages both height and weight into a single number, to see over a wall, to squeeze through a small opening, or even the judge whose head might be sticking up out of the grass. Use size. Size helps determine hit points and damage, bonus and build. One might decrease size to indicate the loss of a limb through lowering dexterity is more often the solution. Presumably, if investigators lose all size points, they disappear. Goodness knows to where.
I've always heard size doesn't matter. Is that not right? I'm disappointed.
Well, apparently in this game it does.
Okay.
Yeah. I hadn't got this book yet when I ran the first session, so we're using the quick rules.
Okay.
And that's okay to get started, but this is where you want to get into the meats and bones.
Sure.
Any RPG, you want the main rule book, because that's where everything, and we'll get the go into it. So next thing is going to be dexterity, and that's going to be 3d6 times 5.
Okay, so I got 6 times 5, 30. Too much reading. He's a little slow.
What
He's a little slow with his hands.
Is your professor Indiana Jones? Is this what you're doing? Flipping bull cracking whip, and he's going to be like hanging us stuff and doing that there. So, investigators with a higher dexterity scores are quicker, nimbler, and more physically flexible. A dexterity roll might be made to grab a support, to keep from falling, to move faster than an opponent, or to accomplish some delicate task. An investigator with 0 dexterity is uncoordinated and unable to perform physical tasks, much like me in real life. In combat, the character with the highest dexterity acts first. Are these coming across as familiar?
Yeah, definitely.
I think a lot of role-playing systems, like when it comes to building your character, there's a lot of the same statistics, physicalities and advantages and disadvantages,
Yeah, definitely. Dexterity is something you only hear in role-playing games, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Right, so next we're going to go for appearance.
Oh, boy.
And it's roll 3d6 multiplied by 5. This is a fun one because we actually played with this a bit with the last game we're on.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it came to like trying to charm receptionists and
Adam's character was
sneak
good
in the thing, it's a useful characteristic to have. So appearance measures both physical attractiveness and personality. A person with a high appearance is charming and likable, but may lack conventional good looks. Someone with the appearance of 0 is appallingly ugly, possibly with a wholly detestable demeanor, provoking comment and shock everywhere.
Gotcha.
Appearance may be useful in social encounters or when trying to make a good impression.
Gotcha. So I got 11, so that's 55, which is 54 more than in real life. So I'm excited about this. That's what's called fantasy.
That's it, man. I just love your confidence and,
Oh, absolutely.
That's all fun. Well, do you know what? See if you can make fun of yourself, no one else can. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta beat them to it. You gotta get to it first.
Yeah, and because that's what bullies look for. Actually, I've never been told it would all change when you left school. The bullies would disappear, and it's actually worse.
Yeah,
they're looking for that chink in the armor. But if you're just like, yeah, whatever, and then they actually get more frustrated.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is going to be the fun one because this ties into your sanity. We're going to go for intelligence.
Okay. 3d6.
And then this is where your modifiers will come in because of your career choice as well. So we can play that afterwards. But so again, 2d6 plus 6 multiplied by 5.
Okay, so 7 plus 6, 13 times 5. That's 75.
Adam, you can try. You can try. You just know you're getting both barrels back and with no subtlety whatsoever. Oh dear. The worst people in your life are your friends. You know that? Who needs enemies when your friends are prepared to rip you apart just for a laugh?
That's right. That's right.
But it makes you stronger. Stronger. I'm okay. I mean, what'd you get?
So I got 7 plus 6, 13 times 5. Is that 65 or 75? 13 times 5. What's
65?
65. Okay.
However, that will change because of your professions. That's where the professions and your specialities come in that we can have a wee bit of fun up. But intelligence represents how well investigators learn, remember, analyze information, and solve complex puzzles. An investigator with 0 intelligence is babbling, drooling, idiot. If you see my streams on a nightly basis, I'm proof of the pudding. God, I was babbling last night. I just got knackered and tired halfway through my stream, and I just like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing?
That's what people love. That's why we tune in. It's fun.
And that's fun to do it live because you can't hide. You can't do like a load of edits. You just got to go with it. Intelligence determines the number of personal interests, skill points, multiply intelligence by 2, allotted to each new investigator. See personal interests, page 36, we'll do that. Intelligence also acts as a value for both idea rolls and intelligent rolls. If the amount of intelligence seemed to contradict other characteristics, that's another chance for role playing and further defining your investigator. For example, an investigator with high education and low intelligence might be a pedantic teacher or a sideshow performer, someone who knows facts but not their meanings. Conversely, high intelligence and low education might mean ignorance, such as non-educated farm boy new to the big city. However, this person would not be dull-witted. So it's playing on the idea of, yeah, just because you're book smart doesn't mean you're street smart, and vice versa. And how many professors have we seen on the news and social media who are absolutely babbling idiots?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That makes sense. I like that they differentiate between those.
Circus. Are you talking about Bradley Cooper's character in Nightmare Alley? Oh, I love that movie. I want to actually. That's something I want to do is get a circus-based scenario. You know my love for the circus, and sideshows and freak shows. I love all that stuff. That was like my initial love for all things strange and weird.
Like the bearded woman, stuff like that? Like
oh, yeah, absolutely.
The world's smallest human, that stuff.
Oh, yeah, he did right. He's getting exactly the gig. I've got this role just for you. Have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
Bradley Cooper, Cate Blanchett. Really good. It was one of those, it wasn't released to some great fanfare, but it's a proper gripping story. And the big ugly dude, what do you call him? Ron Perlman.
Oh, okay.
I always knew him before I knew his name. I always knew him as Big Ugly Dude, and I always got excited. It's like, yeah, it's Big Ugly Dude. Where did I first see him? Flipping Hellboy, I think.
Okay.
No, sorry. Let's go way back in time. Flipping Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, he played the Beast.
Yeah,
Ron
and let you want to call Linda Hamilton the Beast. Do you remember that TV show?
Yes.
What's his face? George R. R. Martin wrote it.
Yes. Wow, I forgot until you just mentioned it, though. Yeah.
Yeah, God, that was way back in the day.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of, or Linda Hamilton went on to the other things and got some other girl, and it just season 2 went to rat shit.
That's before Terminator for her, right?
Yeah, she might have actually left it to go and do Terminator.
Oh, okay. Huh. Cool.
But yeah, there's somebody with, there's an example of appearance. Intelligence, the Vincent character, not traditionally attractive. He had a lion's face on. Actually, really good prosthetics for back in the day. But he had charisma, and even the beast, the traditional fairy tale beast character is terrifying and would make people cringe away. But yet, Belle fell in love with him. So kind of this is what this game kind of plays on. That sort of dynamic.
Gotcha.
And we've gone on our first tangent. Yay.
This one wasn't my fault.
I need no encouragement whatsoever. Right. So we're now on to power.
Power? Okay.
Power.
3D6
multiplied by 5.
11, so 55.
55. Okay. When I save that, so it'll save onto your sheet and we'll not lose everything. If not, we'll have to go back and
we'll just watch it and I'll write it down.
we'll do it while we're live. Like, okay, screenshot. Yeah, audience. Actually, quite a few audience members watching. Must be interesting. This. Yeah, audience, take notes and chime in the chat when we start fluffing up with the stats. So power indicates the force of will. The higher the power, the higher the aptitude for and resistance to magic. An investigator with 0 power is zombie-like without purpose, as well as like most civil servants. So no power, you're a civil servant. As well as being unable to use magic. Unless stated otherwise, power that is lost during the game is lost permanently. Sanity points begin at the game equal to the character's power. Sanity points cover more detail. So your sanity points at the moment, 55.
Okay.
This is going to be fun.
I take it that's not good.
obviously the percentile rule under it, and then your intelligence actually becomes a modifier in the negative.
Okay.
So the more intelligent you are, it actually takes off your sanity because you comprehend what's in front of you.
Right. I remember
Where if
that.
you're just like, "Ba-dur, ba-dur, ba-dur, ba-dur," oh, that's a big furry dog and its hind legs ripping people apart. Oh, it's got a bone. Oh, but when you're intelligent, like that's a werewolf eating a human arm.
Yeah.
Ah,
Gotcha. That's cool.
right. And then education is roll 2d6 plus 6
2d6. Oh boy.
times 5.
So 3. Yikes. Plus you said 2d6 plus 6, so that's 9.
Yep.
Times
Times
5, 40, 45. So maybe he's a pretend professor.
Did he get Did he discover online degrees before online?
Yeah.
Did he
That's
do Saul Goodman? What was that? The flipping University of Zamora, was
Phoenix.
it?
I think University of Phoenix or something.
No, it was like
Oh. I know what you're talking about.
Breaking Bad. Saul Goodman. He went and did it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was Western Samoa or something like that. No offense to Western Samoa, just that whole thing of, oh, you didn't go to the proper university. You didn't do it right.
My diploma is written in crayon. And I have it on
the flipping the ink still. Every time. In fact, this could be have your character a bit of a swindler.
Yeah. All right. I can work with that.
Right then. And this is a fun characteristic to play with. Luck.
Okay.
So 3d6 times 5. There's a whole thing about luck that you can push a luck roll at it. I think it decreases each time you use it.
Gotcha. So I got 7 times 5, 35.
That's what we need to play about with. So basically your luck, you can do a luck roll. So say, for example, back to the trying to put a car together, and my stats are abysmal, but I can roll for luck just to somehow magically have everything fall into place and for it to work.
Gotcha. So do you declare that before the roll or after the roll?
Yeah, or if I can give it to you as an option.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I've read through this scenario a couple of times, but it's one of them sort of in one ear out the other a bit until we're actually playing through it. Like it reads okay, but until we're actually playing through it, we can decide what we're doing. At the end of the day, I'd like to keep you alive and reasonably sane.
You're the first person I've ever heard say that, so that's great.
The reason being that this game just doesn't it doesn't play that at all. We're all fighting against the game in this.
Gotcha.
It is Cthulhu at the end of the day. Right then. So got our luck. So here's where we start getting into various characteristics. So age, you were going to make him. Did you say 59?
Somewhere in the 50s. Yeah, we could go 59. Sure.
Right. So 50 to 59. Let's go right in the middle. 55. How's that good?
Sounds good.
Right. So 50 to 59 years ago, make 3 improvement checks for education and deduct 10 points amongst strength, con, and dexterity. Constitution and dexterity.
Okay, how do I do that?
So your education's going to go up by 3.
Oh, okay.
And then you've got 10 points that you decide where you want to take them off your strength, constitution, and dexterity.
Strength, I think.
So you just want to take a full 10 points?
Yeah.
And see how your modifiers making the character a bit more realistic?
Makes sense. Yep. Cool.
Yep. So, because what we had here was a hulking weightlifter of a professor with crayons flipping drawn on his diploma.
Just like we drew it up.
Just like we planned. Cool, right. And then your half and fifth characteristic value. So that already the looking enough as the digital sheet. If this was on paper, you'd have to calculate that out. But
Okay.
here, they're all right. There's your half value, there's your fifth value, and this is where some things might need a hard success, or you want to push a roll. So if you go for a roll based on strength, for example, and you fail it the first time, you can ask to push the roll, but then you have to get it to succeed the second time. You have to get under 12.
Otherwise, it's catastrophic.
Yep, and if you fail the roll the second time, then that's where it's catastrophic. So you're you try to jump on like you're about to fall off a ledge. You didn't hold on, but then you try to grab onto a higher ledge across or something like that, or onto a pipe, and then it's just going to go wrong.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Right then, damage bonus and build. So strength and size. Investigators, control card, blah 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 blah. Known as a damage bonus. So where's that? I don't think we'll have to put that in. I've been reading over this character sheet, and still when you go to do it, it's like, oh, where is everything?
Yeah, no worries. No worries. I don't see damage bonus, but maybe it's
You add strength and size and look up. Oh right, okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, right. So this is when we're actually going through it. Sorry, this is the mechanics.
Oh, okay.
Right. So an occupation, that's what we need to work on. I need to go through and find that. There's a whole thing here with the occupations. Here we go. Sorry. So in this book, just that you have sample occupations, and then it gives you your modifiers.
Okay.
So I'm looking for artist, athlete, doctor of medicine. No. And this is where if it's not exactly there, you can obviously use something else. So we've got here professor. So what you have then is library use, other language, own language, psychology, any 4 other skills.
You have to pick the skills.
Yep. So this is where you can focus on. So that's what we need to do. Is
okay.
Go back. So there are your modifiers to help out. I need to save that bit of the page. So you get those because of your profession. You get those automatically. So now I need to go back, and this is where we'll go.
I see. They have a list of possible skills here.
Yeah, so underneath we'll have a whole list of skills.
Okay.
If you choose a certain profession, you get those immediately.
Gotcha.
And then
I was going to say archaeology for sure.
Right, so we've done that, but we've done that, but right, determine move rate. Done that. This is where this book is not well laid out. There's and the ones that gives you all the values that basically apply.
Okay.
Decide skills and allocate skill points. Here we go. After you've chosen your occupation, calculate your occupational skill points using the characteristics specified alongside the occupation. Allocate the resulting total as percentage points among skills. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this is where this isn't the most user-friendly. When we get to the second section. I think it was at the beginning. What they've done is just give a bunch of points, but
basically, I feel like for him, anything to do with education, obviously, and maybe investigating. Maybe he's been hired as a professional expert, as
you have a higher credit rating, for example.
Yeah,
which is important too.
almost like a legal expert, to weigh in on I guess I don't know if they had I don't know how detailed they had those, in the legal system back in the 20s, but someone who could weigh in and provide facts in a case type of, so anything like investigative, I would feel like, or
Yeah, everything has a legal module. I've been when I had an accountancy technician back in the day, flipping, you had a legal module to do, and like, I remember the questions going, "What legal advice would you give?" And I go, "None." Not even remotely what I'm interested in. And I always prefix my answers. I think I annoyed the tutor because I was like, "None, as I have no desire to be a lawyer. However, in the context of this answer, blah 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 blah."
and they probably love that because that was a very legal answer. They hired you on the spot.
Right, where's my bloody number of skill points? That's what I'm looking for here. Sanity points equal power. Magic points equals 1/5 of power. So let's go back to this just before we finish off. Magic points. So it's 11 magic points. So if you find a wand, you can izzy wizzy, let's get busy, and maybe get a spark out of it.
Okay.
Right. So this is one we need to do. Oh, here we go. Right. Roll 3d6 multiplied by 5 for the characteristics. Right, we've done that. We need to do your education improvement check. So I need you to roll 1d100.
You got it. $58.
Right, so that's higher. So then what I need you to do is roll 1d10, and then we're going to add between 1 and 10 points to your education.
6.
6, so that's 55.
All right, we're getting there.
Yeah, so see where the modifiers come in. I'm just looking for the number of... calculate occupational skill points using the characteristics. All these points... doesn't tell you how many points you get. That's where I'm getting confused here. So it tells you to allocate points.
Right. You want to just do like a 1d10?
Oh, right. Sorry. Here we go. My apologies.
Okay. No worries.
So your credit rating is between 20 to 70. So let's talk about your character.
Okay.
Is your professor established in a university, well paid?
Yeah.
Or are they a bit of an out there? They're kind of shunned by the institution. Because we had decided before this that you wanted to try and tie this into the haunting.
Yes,
like your characters going to the events.
That's a good point. Yes, I like that idea. Maybe he's like a freelance. He's hired on cases, so he'll be like a guest speaker at universities, but he's not like a full time where he's behind a desk his whole life. So,
and maybe we can give him a decent credit, so he can afford to travel and move around and do things off the cuff.
Right.
So to me, that would assume that was somebody with a high credit rating.
Right.
So this is the bit. I just put this up, when I created your character sheet, just from our previous conversation. You'd read about the events at the Corbett House in the Boston Globe, where the landlord and a private investigator perished in strange circumstances. The following news reports of the arrest and imprisonment of Rob Horton, one of the private investigators at O'Malley's investigations. You're both intrigued by the case while also sensing an opportunity at the firm. Deciding to travel there and offer your services, you find yourself boarding the SSX County bound for Rockport. Here your adventure begins. So that's kind of
that's cool. I like it.
Put at the start. So tying that into your because this is one thing Derek brought up last time was character motivation. You have to be motivated to put yourself through this.
Gotcha. So I think he's always motivated to debunk scams, and I think reading this in the paper, he feels like this was obviously some sort of a scam. Obviously, since the supernatural doesn't exist, he's very against all of that. Everything,
Wait a second. You're a professor of archaeology.
right?
Wasn't there an artifact found?
Yes, there was. That's right.
The dagger?
Yeah.
You're,
Okay.
you're traveling because you heard about the dagger, the strange dagger, and the inscriptions on it.
Oh, that's better.
How about
Yeah,
that?
let's go with that. That's better. Yeah, I like it.
That sounds a good motivation to travel. Because just to go and debunk a theory,
Yeah.
um, it's good, but you put it in context. Your character's an archaeologist. Think Highlander movie, right? Think of the forensic scientist.
Okay.
Remember McLeod killed Bastille
Yes.
underneath the wrestling match, when he left a bit of his blade, and
Right.
when
Right.
she tested the blade, it was done in the style of samurai, but a couple hundred years before it was even meant to exist.
Right.
So your character could have the same sort of effect on them when they saw the description or the photograph on the paper of the ritualistic dagger.
That was the same one that came to life and killed.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I like it. So he wants to try to acquire that or at least study it.
Well, he won't be able to. It's in police hands, but maybe that's something to think about as we go along here. There's something in that that
I
is
like it.
triggered along a line of study,
Yeah. Okay.
and you're drawn to it immediately. That's where you want to go, and you're obviously going to offer your services in payment.
I like it.
Does that sound good?
That sounds good. Yeah, that's cool. Cool.
Look, it sounds as almost if we know what we're doing here.
I like it.
Right, back to the. Oh, by the way, I think it's any system. This is I think the most complicated, difficult part is the character sheet. Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, for sure. But
It's almost like
it's also fun too, because I don't like where you could just determine your own stats and you can kind of like go in with the character pre-created. Like this is fun. The idea, sometimes the roles affect and you have to scramble, to adjust on the fly. So I like this way where the roles help determine the character, not vice versa,
yeah, we can play about with it. It's
Yeah.
Once again, it's about making the best story possible and enjoying ourselves. That's what you always gotta keep in your mind. I've just is that
Adam wrote beware of the dagger.
beware the dagger. Oh, woke people, what's the 55th gender? Is that the two-spirit albatross? I just put 55 in as gender.
No one knows. The doctor wasn't sure with me.
Right. So where's your credit rating? Let's see. So I'm going to annoy people as well. That's got to offend somebody. What's the point in being online if you don't? It should be around right here. Oh. Nope. Archaeology, navigate occult, persuade. God, keep an eye out. We'll get that in a minute. Credit rating, because maybe not so much for this adventure, but if we want your character to appear again, be useful. We'll fill them when we find it. It's about there somewhere.
Okay.
But in the meantime, give me was it education times 4? What's that, 200 and something?
Am I rolling
220.
that?
Right. So you have 220 points.
Oh, okay.
To spend on the attributes.
Okay.
However, as a professor, you need to put points for definite into library use. You pen and paper, or if you want something to do it?
Yeah, I got pen and paper.
Right. So 220 points.
Okay.
And I need you to concentrate on. Well, I need you to definitely put points. It's up to you how many. Into library use, other language, own language, psychology, and any 4 other skills as academic or personal specialities.
All right. I feel like
So the other language could be a dead language.
Yeah, I feel like that fits into his occupation. So maybe like Egyptian or ancient hieroglyphics or something like that.
Yep. Or Atlantean, maybe.
Okay.
Or something along those lines. Ancient, you can obviously you can spend your points, so you can do as many languages. You can put you could be a linguist, professor, archaeological linguist, of dead languages, and you could put all your points into those and give them like 20 each. It's entirely your choice, but just remember to balance your character out a bit.
Okay.
That makes sense. So let's do the first one, and then you can. So library use.
I think library. I got to put a lot into that. I feel like he's very learned, so I'll go at 70.
Radio. Let's. Oh, archaeology. I'm going to give you 50 for that for free.
Okay.
You can add that if you want, but obviously it's your occupation, so
yeah.
Kind of makes sense. Yeah,
maybe I'll put 10 more in that of the 220.
Okay. All right. So I just saw it there. Library use. So you start off with 20.
Okay, so I'll do 50 for that.
Should we only add 30 then?
50 more. So
all right. So you want 70, right?
Yeah. So I'm down to 170.
And you were going to just go back up here.
Yeah, 10 into archaeology.
So you make that up to 60.
Yeah. So I'm down to 160.
Own language.
Man, I hate wasting it. It's so easy. It's your own language. No, I'm just kidding. I'll do I guess 30 for that.
Let me.
Like what? I guess I should understand that more. What is
So I suppose that's the difference between speaking like me and then somebody eloquent.
Oh yeah, it should be higher
than understanding words and.
Yeah, probably should be the professor. All right. So
don't go overboard.
Okay.
So you get 55 to start off with.
Oh, okay. I'll just do. I got 160. I'll do 10.
10, right.
To make it 65. Okay. So now I'm down to 150.
Right. Other languages. So once again, it doesn't have to be just one language. You could split your points between 2 or 3 if you think that will be useful.
Yeah, let's do that.
But bear in mind, you don't want to shoot your load too early.
Right. I've heard that.
Because you can, don't forget, you add the stats together. So these are modifiers. So you'll never be rolling just on, it'll be education plus languages.
Okay.
It'll never just be on its own.
Okay.
But you were going to go...
like ancient Egyptian or like hieroglyphics. Please don't ask me to spell that.
I'm not even going to try. It's too late at night here. We want to do 20?
Yeah. So I'm down to 130.
You want to do maybe one more?
You mentioned Atlantean?
Yeah, what would Atlantean be? Would there actually be a study of what was that?
Like Latin? Of? Could you just do like in general, like
yeah, could do Latin, yeah. And then we can play about.
Okay.
I'm not going to do you wrong if that makes sense. It's You
Let's do
can
20 for that,
20,
and then
right.
I'm down to 110.
Seemed like a lot of points at the start, didn't
It's
it? All of a sudden, it's like, whoops.
What can I take away from? How much do you need to jump? Can I take away from jump? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, that comes built in, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those are the basics.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're, say, an athlete or a soldier or something, then that would be what you'd jump into. This was designed, I think this module's designed for like 2 or 3 player.
Gotcha.
Historically, there's no Atlantean. Plato was Greek.
Could I add points to phone a friend if that comes up?
Or the fucking because 1930s.
Adam, what does this mean?
Psychology.
I don't want to add too much. I'm down to 110, and I know spot hidden is a big one. I want to save some for that. Psychology, let's do 10.
Yeah, you don't even have to. You can do less than 10. You don't have to do them in multiples of 10. You can even do 1 if you want.
Okay.
It just says you have to allocate points out of your total.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be somewhat learned. I feel like you should do at least 10, just so he has a chance to see if someone's lying to him. Oh, it comes with 10 already.
Comes with 10. So
I'll do 10 to make it 20.
Okay.
So I'm down to 100. I remember from the game that the prior session you played with Adam and Derek, spot hidden was a big one.
Oh yeah. That's a massive thing in this.
Could I do that one? I also had
that's the end of the compulsory you have to put points into, and then it basically says 4 other skills as academic or personal specialties.
Okay.
So you can add, as you see, everything has a baseline.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Oh, so you can't use the 100 points left to allocate towards the sciences and stuff?
Well, it says at least, was it 4 other skills as academic or personal specialties.
Okay.
So you have to so you're not going to put it into Kung Fu, if that makes sense.
No. Yeah.
So if we have a look, so technically natural world or medicine or academic sort of studies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's you're not going to put it into, you're not going to be a race car driver. So you're not going to
No. They only went 10 miles an hour anyway.
Well, that's the language I love, And that could give you extra appearances points if you have a tongue to lick your eyebrows. Oh, there's credit rating. So what did I say? We're going to give you 60 for that, wasn't it?
That sounds familiar. Yeah, you said it should be high.
Yeah, it should, because you're established, and the fact you can, on a whim, go, Adam, we're not doing tentacle porn in this yet. Not until after a certain time of night when the kiddies are in bed. Right. So essentially, what we'll do is we can scroll down this and we'll go to the top here. Okay, the skills. So we've done that. Archaeology, you've added your points. Your character has an aversion to firearms, so we'll leave that as is.
Right.
What about occult? Do you want to throw a few points into that?
Yeah, that's a good idea. That comes from the 100 left still, right?
Yes.
I'll do 15 for that. To bump that up to 20.
Cool.
Down to 85.
For example, you're not going to be interested in operating heavy machinery. That's what the what do you call it? The interns are for, and the students.
Right.
That's what the plebs are for, right? So
70% of the machinery back then would just collapse on you and kill you. So we're going to stay away from heavy machinery in the 20s.
And then down to this section, we have charm. So do you think it's important that your character is charming? For this particular adventure, it's not a high priority.
Okay, yeah, no, I feel like he does travel a lot, but I feel like he's, kind of like a bookworm type, situation. I don't think he would be very charming.
All right, okay. Climb. Uh, we'll leave out the afterwards to see. We'll go through and look for all the what we'll do. Look for all the sort of academic type and personality.
Yeah.
We'll go through them first, and then maybe if there's something left, we could add the physicality because there's nothing wrong with being a professor and having the hobby of hill walking or climbing, or generally being agile. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, true.
But once again, like I said at the start, you're not a superhuman. You're a human character, so what you focus on kind of dictates.
Yeah. I think disguise, he should put something into that because he travels a lot. He wants to stay under the radar. There's no radar.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
What do you want to?
Let's see. I got 85. Let's put 30 into that. Yeah. Make that. So I'm down to 55.
I have an idea for later on this game. See if I
Okay.
can pull it off. If I don't drive you insane first. Dodge. Maybe leave that one.
Okay.
Might come back to that. Drive auto, and this is the difference. Like you start off with 20. Difference between being able to take part in a high-speed car chase and just jump in a car and go down the shops, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 55 left. I think let's hold off on that.
Yeah, that's it. We can go through this. I'm just
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Things like electrical repair, and that's what I'm talking about. You're not an electrician, but as a base, we can all wire a plug, and then say, for example, something involving electrical repair. You could roll for that, and then push add luck, and try a luck roll.
Yeah, gotcha.
Hey, it's all relative, okay? The horse's carriage was a wonder. 30 miles an hour was breakneck speed. For sake, see these modern kids that don't understand history. It's shocking. I've had to play about with the languages. Oh, right. So we've left the senses blank here. That's weird to put ride, as in horse riding or something, next to psychology and psychoanalysis. Yeah, so the sciences, do you want to include any sciences? You've already got your archaeology.
That if I could use these points towards spot hidden, I think that's
all right,
good.
So there's spot hidden. Let's go there. You've got 25 to start off with.
Let's do 30.
Add 30, so 55.
Yeah. And now I'm down to 25.
Okie dokie. And then I'm guessing your character's not going to be a fighter.
No, he's adverse to fighting. He thinks he can talk his way out of anything.
All right, so that's these here. We'll just kind of leave, and then law library use you've already done. Listen, your professor a good listener, but not just that, but in certain situations, being able to pick up things.
Yeah, I'm down to 20. Important, maybe.
Yeah, hang on. We can go through them. If you don't see anything right now,
okay.
We'll keep going. I'm not forcing you to choose anything. Just we mentioned law, mechanical repair, pretty much the same as electrical repair. No, it's the same principle. Can wield a spanner. Medicine, not so much.
Yeah.
If you don't think natural world, possibly.
Yeah.
We can come back to that.
We could do five for that.
Do another 5?
Put another 15. Yeah, another 5.
Okay. Right, and then we've got survival, swim, throw, and track. So track obviously means tracking animals and things like that.
No, I only got 15 left. I think listen maybe for fun. I think that made sense what you said.
All right, so add another 5 on to listen. Right, so that's basically.
Oh, that was down. That was down below towards.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. So now I'm down to 10 more. Maybe 10. Maybe the last 10 on stealth.
Stealth. Yep, we can do that.
Okay, cool.
I need to write skull. Intimidate. I don't see your
No.
unless it's during a debate or something. I could see that.
I just realized his history is only 5. Is that should I have adjusted that a little bit higher?
Possibly, yeah. In fact, if you recognize something,
I think that makes sense. Maybe we'll do take 10 away from library use and add 10 to history.
oh, God.
Down
yeah,
slip.
down
Yep.
doesn't.
There you go.
There it is. We got the 15.
15. Okay.
Sweet,
maybe even take 10 more from stealth and add that to history too, because I feel like history should be higher for him. Yeah, take that down to 20 maybe, and then put that last 10 on history. 25 at least.
Yep.
Okay. He's not the best teacher.
Yeah, but that's at the end of the day, this is, we're not creating superhumans, we're human characters.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point. People get kind of caught up, I think.
Yeah. He can't know everything.
No. He might like to think he does. That's up to you,
right.
To play it.
Yeah. Oh, he's very stuck up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got a good voice for him and everything. I'm gonna try out.
Excellent. Right. Let's just make sure that saves. Is that showing up on your screen?
Yes, it is. Everything transferred over.
Sweet. So if I close that, let's go back to here. No, wrong. That's what I want because I want to change my screens. Just make sure that's. Let me put it there. That's okay. We're on the right one. Sorry, I just don't want the GM screen popping up.
Yeah, sure.
Ruining everything. All right, Chris. We're ready to go. Do you want to take a wee break first, or dive in?
Yeah, I think we said this session's gonna go about an hour. Maybe we'll start like the actual mission next time if that's okay.
All right. Okay. Sorry, I thought you said this week we're going to have extra.
I could stay for like 10 more minutes if that's cool.
All right. Okay. Right. Then. Okay. Right. That's no problem. That actually gives me a bit of time to look at your character then for next time.
Sure.
And then dive in. That works for me perfectly, actually. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Cool. Okay. So that's great. How'd you find that went?
Good. Actually went. It made sense. It went quicker than I thought.
Yeah. Cool. This is there was a bit about the points. That's where I was getting stuck on. There's a little section at the bottom says it's your education times 4, and then obviously depending on your occupation is what you multiply. So it's not always education. No
worries. I remember from the last stream, you had mentioned that it's good if your character has like a phobia. So I was trying to think of one that would fit with this character, because I don't feel like he's afraid of anything supernatural because he doesn't believe in it, and I don't think he would be afraid of like a spider. Like he's very like intellectual and very, a spider is something you're not normally afraid of. He's very stuck up like that. So then I came up with the idea that maybe he had an illness as a child, that he was blind for about 6 months. And because he was blind for 6 months, he has like an unnatural fear of the dark. So maybe he's like very like anal retentive about that, where he'll walk into a room, and even if there's some daylight, he'll turn on all the lights. He's just like, he has, extra batteries with him at all times and flashlights, and he's very afraid of the dark.
That could work indeed. Yep.
Even though, he's intellectual about everything else.
So what you could do then between now and the next session, see on the character sheet in the bio, and you can put your own notes.
Okay.
So those notes I put on are just to start, and this is for anyone that's playing this game. That's not, you know what I mean. That's why I'm talking the way I'm talking. Is it's more for somebody that comes across this channel, goes, "Oh, Call of Cthulhu, how do you play that?" So if you're playing this and you're using the Roll20 system, I think the same with other ones. Your character sheet you can amend yourself and add your notes in, and then this is where we have the conversation before we start gameplay.
Gotcha.
Just to finalize things up. So yeah, put that bit in.
Okay, we'll do.
Where I've put those notes, feel free to chop and change about. We'll bring up the dagger, and that's what's been your motivation. That's why you're heading to where you're heading, where you're going to get on the SS Essex County, and we're going to start the adventure.
To try to track down the dagger. I like that. That's a cool.
And then the adventure's going to begin.
Hook. Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
And then we can have because then we can play the blindness and with the insanity rolls of it's going to come late. Of course it is. That's
right.
It's Call of Cthulhu.
Like normally he'll be like very like rational about everything, but then once like it goes dark, he just
or even
out.
a flash of light.
Yeah,
like a flashlight and temporarily blind you.
Yeah.
That can easily be a trigger and start rolling the insanity table and having fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Chris, this is I'm actually looking forward to this.
Oh, me too, man. This is great. Thanks for running this.
Are these sessions valuable, even though we're doing them online? Do you think it's valuable doing this when we're playing online games?
It was for me. I knew nothing about Call of Cthulhu before your previous session with Derek and Adam, and I was always interested because I heard about it. So watching you guys play it from start to finish, setting up the character for me was like really educational, and I was like, man, that looks like fun. I wish I could join them. And then so when you offered to run this, I was really excited. Yeah, I think this is helpful for anyone.
All right, excellent. Well, what we'll do is we'll drop a stream here. We'll organize for next time. We'll put it up, and then that's when we'll actually start the gameplay. Once again, Chris, thank you. We're looking forward to the next session. We actually start getting into this here, folks. Keep an eye on the channel. Like I said, I'll post the stream up beforehand, so you know when to hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. Do the typey clicky things, and until next time, keep it creepy, keep it horrific.